So this is a little update video on the Fuji X-H2. This is now sort of post-wedding, I guess. So yeah, I've used it a couple of weddings now, which has given me a really good idea of sort of how it performs, some of the things I like about it. So this is sort of not quite an in-depth review, but just my sort of initial thoughts on using it as a wedding photographer's camera. So I've shot 2 weddings with this now. One was second shooting, which was a really good chance to try the camera out without too much pressure on myself, so I can give myself a little bit more time to play around with it and things like that. The second one was last weekend just gone, where I was a solo shooter. First off, they performed brilliantly. Right, on to why I really like this for wedding photography, especially over the X-H1. So if you've not seen the last video, go check that out. I'm moving to the X-H2 from an X-H1, so I've always had the X-H bodies. I'm going to start with the actual physicalities of the camera. As I said last time, it's very, very similar to the X-H1. One of the things I really like about this camera is the flip-out screen. It works really, really nicely. It just flips out. It's an incredibly easy and comfortable one to use, much better than the old one with sort of weird tilting stuff. It's properly articulated. I tend to sort of have it out a bit like that, and then sort of holding it against my hands, sort of thing like that, for when I'm shooting from the hip. Particularly good. I don't miss the dials on the top, because it's just, you got the PSAN ones. I never really use them anyway, except if it's like dancing or if I was dialing a flash. I shoot everything in aperture priority anyway. Fine to control the shutter speed and ISO and everything like that through just through the buttons on the camera. There's a nice dedicated ISO button at the top here, so that's just using for switching ISO around, and then white balance, and then customizable buttons for the rest of it. As said in the previous video, I've turned most of the customizable buttons off because I don't really use them, and particularly the touchscreen is off as well. Except for the touchscreen when you're reviewing the photos, it's quite nice to be able to sort of pinch and sort of spread apart to go zooming into photos to see if the focus is right. So that's overall usability of the camera, really good. The battery life is amazing. So on a full wedding day that I did, which was from 11 o'clock in the morning till about 9 o'clock, 9:30 at night, I used 3 batteries in each camera. So yeah, way better than the old batteries. In terms of actually, yeah, usability, focus is fast as to be expected. I shoot on the 18mm 1.4, which is the lens I'm filming this video with, and the 33mm 1.4. So with those lenses, this is really nice and quick. The continuous autofocus is really good, shooting a lot more in that now because it is so snappy, as well as changing it from single spot focusing. So usually, what I used to do with the X-H1s, single spot in the middle, focus, recompose, focus, recompose. Now it's on continuous autofocus and tracking all. So the focus point is still in the middle. So grab what the focus needs to be on and then move, and it doesn't really matter where you move to, just keep focusing on that, so it'll jot around the screen, sort of thing. Both the weddings I've shot with this, I've only been doing photos, but I have grabbed a few frames of 8K video just to have a play with, just to see what the quality's like and what it's like to pull stills from that, so I'll be having a little play with that. Image quality wise, it's fantastic. You know, it's as to be expected. It's very similar to the X-H1 in sort of color rendition and all that sort of stuff. Obviously the main difference is 40 megapixels. So the file sizes are a lot bigger. The ability to crop is really useful. So you can crop quite aggressively with this camera, which I didn't tend to do too much before. I'd usually just do straightening and light crops, whereas this I can go sort of a much heavier crop in and still get an image that's absolutely fine to deliver. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for this video. I'm going to sort of keep doing these as I keep working with these cameras and just sort of compiling it all into one sort of big review. If you have any questions, then let me know. But yeah, as far as a wedding photography camera goes, it hits all the buttons for me. So that's, yeah, so it's great. But yeah, stay tuned. I'll be shooting, hopefully, I've got another couple of weddings to shoot this year, and I'll hopefully be shooting some more video with it as well, which will be great to start to put that together, especially some of the 8K stuff, and see what that can actually do. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions and pop them in the comments below. Thank you for watching.